Bearing and azimuth.
Objective. At the end of the lesson, the learners will able to number 1. Find azimuth and bearing. Number 2. Convert bearing from given azimuth. What is azimuth? So azimuth is the angle formed between a reference direction, north, and a line from the observer to a point of interest. So this is the form of azimuth. So as what you see in north, it started in 0 degree, next 45 degree, 90 degree, 135 degrees, 180 degrees, 225 degrees, 270 degrees, and 315 degrees. So we have an example. Our value of our OE is 60 degrees and the value of our OB is 135 degrees, and for our OC is 235 degrees, and the value of our OD is 330 degrees. And now let's talk about bearing. So bearing is an angle measured from the vertical line north and south to horizontal line west and east. Is an acute angle that measures less than 90 degrees within a quadrant defined by the cardinal directions. So this is the form of bearing. So from northeast is equal to 45 degrees, and our southeast is 45 degrees, and the southwest is 45 degrees, and the northwest is 45 degrees also. So we have an example of bearing. So number 1, find the bearing of E, B, and C, and D. So the bearing of E is northeast 45 degrees, and the bearing of B is southeast 30 degrees, and the bearing of C is southwest 20 degrees and 15 minutes, and the bearing of D is northwest 65 degrees 45 minutes and 28 seconds. So example number 2, two ships of E and B leave spur 2 at the same time. Ship E heading due north travels a distance of 225 miles, while ship B heading due east travels 350 miles. How far are D at this point in time? What is the bearing of B from E, and what is the bearing of E from B? So do you have a solution? Let C be the distance of the ships E and B, and let theta be the bearing of the ship B from E. So we use the formula C squared is equal to E squared plus B squared. C is equal to the square root of 225 squared plus 350 squared. C is equal to 25 square root of 227 miles, or is equal to 416 miles. So our tan theta is equal to 350 over 225 minutes. Theta is equal to tangent 350 over 225. So our theta is equal to 57 degrees, 15 minutes, and 53 seconds. So converting azimuth to bearing. So azimuth 0 to 90 degrees is none from bearing. So 90 degrees to 180 degrees in bearing is 180 degrees azimuth, and 180 degrees to 270 degrees in azimuth and bearing is equal to 180 degrees, and 270 to 360 degrees and bearing is 360 azimuth. So we have an example from azimuth 54 degrees. In calculation, copy the azimuth value and in bearing it will become north is 54 degrees, and from azimuth 112 degrees. In calculation, 180 degrees minus 112 degrees is equal to 68 degrees. So in bearing it will become southeast 68 degrees, and from azimuth 221 degrees. From calculation, 221 degrees minus 180 degrees is equal to 51 degrees. So in bearing it will become southwest 51 degrees, and from azimuth 345 degrees, in calculation, 360 degrees minus 345 degrees is equal to 15 degrees. So in bearing it will become northwest 15 degrees. And that's all for today's video tutorial. Thank you and God bless.